off a little bit, looked like they wanted to accelerate to the downside. Then we had this big move back up towards the upside until the final hour or so. And in that final hour, we had a pretty sharp selling off of the NASDAQ. That was down about 87 points from those levels and finished into red. Meanwhile, the Dow, sort of a similar play out, the way it sold off, but yet still finished in the green, but sold off about 70 points and finished higher by about 35 points. We're seeing a lot different market today than we did yesterday, but volatility certainly was an interesting area as well because of the fact that we had a decent range between, call it, in the upper 22s to 25. That was interesting as we closed out right around that 23 level. So volatility has certainly come down dramatically over the last 3, 4, 5 trading sessions when we were up there in the mid, even maybe call it the upper 30s towards 37. And here we are in a very short period of time pulling all the way back. Now, yesterday, energy definitely ruled the day. A monstrous day, just continued to be higher and higher and higher as we watched the price of oil and crude as it got close to 56 yesterday. Today, it's back over 56 as a matter of fact, but it's given back a little bit now. But early on, it was definitely over 56, and we were seeing some decent performance coming from energy then. EOG was up about 9% yesterday. Schlumberger, you go through the whole list, Diamondback and Devon, Hess, Oxy, Pioneer, all these various names, all having an absolutely amazing run. And we call those the beta names because they are the beta stocks when it comes to energy in terms of how much movement you're going to get out of those relative to the market. So very, very strong day. Interesting to see biotech hit another new high, but actually finished in the red. So it's been pushing higher and higher, and we've been talking about all-time highs. Well, we got another one yesterday, but did pull back. Semiconductors were down a couple of percent. So we got some push and some pull. We had some decent day when you look over at technology, but not all of technology. As a matter of fact, Amazon showing a little bit of weakness, down about 2% late in the day as well. 39 million contracts again yesterday. Continues to be very, very strong. It sounds like a lower number because it is, but let's not lose sight of the fact that 20 million used to be a big deal. And last year, 2020, 30 million was around the average, and then we started to heighten up even off of that, and then obviously January just absolutely explosive. So 39 million actually feels kind of like a humdrum day. Only one name, Apple, that was in the million contract club in terms of the trading yesterday. So we got some unemployment numbers today. We had the movement that we had seen a little bit. We were talking about the Dow early on. It was up a little in the pre-market along with the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's really done almost nothing. From the pre-market till we got to the open, till we got about 30 minutes into the day until now, it stayed right about at the levels where it had been, call it up about 65 points or thereabouts. On the other hand, we're seeing the financials really start to take command right now, along with industrials definitely participating. But look at those financials running to the upside. And we were talking about that yesterday on the halftime report, how these financials, we continue to see a lot of activity in there. We talked about some of that for unusual, and we've seen this explosive move from the financials of late. There's been some pauses, some fits, some starts, but today up close to 2% there. We had some other good movers in terms of earnings. How about eBay? How about what's going on with PayPal? Really nice, solid deliveries, but everybody was so excited about Qualcomm. Well, some of what they said about their forecast certainly was concerning, and that sent the stock down about 8% early on. Qorvo was down about 6% early on as well. So materials also getting hit a little bit today. Not terrible, but down close to about 1% or thereabouts. So some unusual option activity. We're going to get the heck out of there. Quickie today. Fisker, FSR. Really interesting to see this one. This is a name from the past, as we all know. Well, maybe we don't all know. Probably a lot of people don't know, but the name from the past. This is an EV play as well. This is a stock that was just trading 17 not too many days ago. Pulled back, now trading in the 15s, 15.35 at the time, where we saw 3,600 of not this Friday, but the following Friday, February 12th, calls. They're the 16 strike calls, and they're getting bought for between 35 and 65 cents. Risk reward, you've got a little over a week, obviously, for this to play out. And when you look at the price, there is a possibility that this thing could get a little bit of a lift, any kind of a lift to the upside, and there's potential for the movement there. That's what we're seeing right now. About, like I said, about 3,600 of those. We also had some paper in NEO, but I thought we've talked about NEO on so many different occasions. Why not talk Fisker on this one? So Bank of America, I talked about the financials. Financials continue to hit. We had Citi yesterday. While I was sitting on the show, we saw some nice activity in Citi. That already has moved. Stock was trading in the 59s. It got up and over 62 today. They were buying some calls yesterday in February for Citi. Those have already moved to the upside. Discipline, always discipline. Today it's Bank of America. 32.29 was where the stock was. It was just trading 29 and change last Friday, so it's already made a little bit of a move. But we have buyers of 5,000. They're going out there. They're going to April. The April 35 calls going for about 87 cents, about 5,000 of those. Part of a roll, not closing everything, but part of a roll from February, I think they were the 33s, and going out to April with these 35s at 87 cents. So some pretty nice activity out there. Financials continue to move to the upside. As I say, that's been leading the Dow today, continues to be a commanding leadership role. When you look at American Express and Bank of America and Citi and Wells Fargo and Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, and you go through the list, you can see what I'm talking about. There is a nice move to the upside, and take a look at what's been going on with the 10-year as well. Folks, have a great day of trading. I will not be on Halftime Report the rest of this week. Actually, you'll see me next Monday on the Halftime Report. But until then, I'll see you on The Take on Market Rebellion at 9:30 Central Standard Time, 10:30 on the East Coast as well. Every day, we do a real quick run-through and then give it to you, and you get the opportunity from here. Giddy up, get after it.